And now we are live. Hi everyone, I'm Caro from Sell2Rent and welcome to our monthly live Q&A. Today we are going to discuss of a very trending and sadly a topic that's going around, and it's pre-foreclosure. Now, we've got a lot of people come up with us with warning letters from lenders, mismatched deadlines, and with a clear lack of guidance with what to do in this situation. So, tonight, our goal is to give you a transparent and secure space to get real answers and a solid strategy of what to do in this unfortunate situation that many people go through. Now, to get this started, we can look at the latest Atom and Yahoo Finance data that was released for this month. And it's that despite that on June, there has been a slight dip in pre foreclosure to over 40,000 properties, the long term annual project and trajectory is still up 14% compared to last year. These numbers show that many states like Florida, Texas, and California lead the country in new foreclosure starts. To help us break this down, we have Santi here. He is one of our seller managers and works with a lot of families that go through this unfortunate situation. Santi, thank you so much for being here.
Nah, Caro, thank you for having me here. For me, it's a pleasure. Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity to talk about this topic because I get a lot of families, believe me, every day with this type of situations going on. So it's good to have here some content out there for people who are maybe in a distressed situation to let them know that they're not alone because sometimes people feel alone in this type of situations and there's a lot of stress, right? So having this opportunity, I think it's great, Caro. So thank you for having me here. And yeah, I'm all yours.
Yes. So, well, like you said, we every day we have more and more people come in distress. So, in your experience and what you've been hearing so far, why do you think more people are in pre foreclosure? What are the primary economic pressures that you are hearing from homeowners that are driving this increase?
Right. So I think that there are two principal factors. I mean, every family and every situation may change, but on average, I see people tend to overspend a lot. Like they take a lot of loans, they take a lot of credit card debt as well. So people start to overspend. And then when you find out that you have to pay that out, is when, problems start coming. So that's one. Like, and I mean, I don't want to buy a new car. You want to do it, but I think you have to plan better if you want to do those type of movements, right? The other one is that I'm seeing a lot of people getting job changes. What I mean is that with the AI situation going on and a lot of industries, migrating to the new AI world, people are losing their job. So when you lose your job, that's your primary income. It's very common that you miss some payments, right? So you start getting behind 1, 2, 3 months, and then is where you get that letter from your lender telling you that you are in foreclosure or pre-foreclosure, right? So I think kind of that those two macroeconomic aspects are driving, like now people are getting in that situation more often. You can see, it's not us just saying it. Stats are showing that all around the country we're seeing more and more people going through this situation. But I think that those two also, I mean, other factors can um, came in on the equation. Maybe a medical situation, maybe an
Mhm.
unexpected hardship. Something can happen. But on average, I think those two. People tend to overspend a lot, and then people losing their jobs because of the we're changing. The world is changing. So those two.
Yeah, you're very correct. And there is also data that show that states like Texas, they have this swift non-judicial foreclosure timelines compared to other judicial states like New York. So, practically speaking, let's say a homeowner is with credit card debt or they lost their job. How many days do they actually have to act ever since they received that formal notice of default?
Right. That's an important question, Cara, because a lot of people panic when they receive that letter. I mean, you have to act, but you have time. So it's important for our viewers here today to understand that once you receive that letter, you have to start looking for a solution. Because a lot of times happens to me that I get a call or a booking or an appointment with one of our homeowners, and they are so late. They need to sell like in 5 or 10 days, and that's quite impossible, right? So my first advice is, hey, once you get that letter, that foreclosure letter from your lender, please contact us immediately, right? Because that will give us the time, because we need time to close on every transaction, and not only us. I mean, every real estate platform agent, investor, call it whatever you want to call it, they need time to close because we have a lot of factors moving in. We have title, we have appraisal, we have lender. So there are a lot of moving parts that equals time. So that means that once you get that letter, the foreclosure, because every look for it's very important to understand that you are in official foreclosure once you get that letter from your lender, right? You can miss one or two payments and maybe nothing happened, but on average, on the third or fourth payment is when you get that foreclosure letter, service to you. So please, once you get that letter, call us or book an appointment with us or go and yeah, have an appointment with us because that will give us enough time to save your property so you don't lose your property on an auction. Okay, so on average, yeah, once we get the letter, it takes about 2 months to get the property
Okay.
foreclosed. So we sell to rent. We need at least 30 days. At least 30 days. We can close sooner than that, absolutely, but we need at least 30 days in order for us to close on the property and to help you, not to losing it, and you so you can stay on it. You can also get some equity back because sometimes we had cases where the mortgage is not 100% of the value of the property, so you have some equity there as well, and you can take advantage of that. So I think that the main key here, Carl, is to let the people know that once you get that letter, please call us immediately because we will help you and we'll have the time to help you as well. Okay.
Okay, yeah, time can definitely be your best friend or your worst enemy in this case. So it's
Absolutely.
very important to act as quickly and swiftly as possible. Now, I imagine that this can be very confusing for so many people. There's a lot of information online. Maybe banks don't say all the information that is needed to know how to act. So, is there any way you or your team supports the homeowners that reach out to you to see what can they do based on their possible auction date or see the real information of the time that they have left?
Absolutely, Caro. Absolutely. Look, there's a key benefit working with sell to rent is that we have a transaction coordinator department in house. Okay. So those transaction coordinators, once you get to us, they will help us to contact your lender, see where we are on the foreclosure, ask for the payoff, and start the negotiation part. So the good thing is that you are not alone, right? Once you contact us, you will have, uh, let's say, me as your advisor. You will have also a transaction coordinator that will help us, navigate all the situation, and also a disposition manager who is in charge of talking with the investor. So it's a full team. My point is to let you know that you have a full team supporting you to get through this situation. We are experts here. Look, I think that 70 or 80% of our customers, Caro, they come from a foreclosure situation. So we have built a playbook in order to help homeowners in this type of situations. So once you contact us, the first step is going to request the information from your lender, so our transaction coordinator can contact them and we can start the process right away. Okay, so look, we have a full team ready to help you navigate through this situation. I know it's stressful. I know that you sometimes feel there is no opportunity, but actually you have a one last opportunity. But as I just mentioned, as you just mentioned, Caro, time here is of the essence. So you have to act quickly. So once you get to us, we're gonna put you in contact with our transaction coordinator so we can all together work on that behalf and yeah, help you navigate through that. So you don't have to be an expert on foreclosure. We are the experts here. So let us help you navigate through this situation.
I think it's very interesting that you mentioned that most of the people that come work with us are in pre foreclosure. Based
Absolutely.
on everyone that you've talked with so far, what would you say is the main core difference between doing a sale leaseback with us and all the benefits involved with the leaseback as a solution compared to a traditional short sale driven by a bank?
Absolutely. Look, as you just mentioned, sell and lease back. You can stay in your property. You have been living in that property for 20, 30 years, and you are not ready to lose it in 5 days, right? So working with Sell2Rent will give you the opportunity to stay, so you can plan your next move. Look, a hardship and a bad situation can happen to anyone, so don't feel ashamed about it. Anyone can be in that same situation, so you are not special. I mean, everyone, and we have deal with a lot of people that have been in that type of situation. So don't be ashamed, okay? And Sell2Rent can help you buy your property, so we can get you an investor very quickly who will purchase the property, but will let you stay as a tenant on the property anywhere from a month up to 1, 2, 3 years. That will give you the time and the flexibility you need to plan your next move, right? Because doing a short sale, you just have what, 10, 15 days to pack 30 years of life. I mean, it's crazy, right? So Sell2Rent brings you the flexibility you need in these type of situations, right? We can give you that lease back so you can stay on the property after we do the sale, and that will give you again the opportunity to plan, to breathe, to say, okay, I just got through this. I just have a solution for my problem. Let's plan my next move, my next stage in life. So I think that the main benefit, Caro, comparing this to a short sale driven by a bank, is that Sell2Rent give you time. Time is priceless, right? Time is priceless nowadays. So you can stay in the property. If you want to stay a long period, you can do it. But let's say you told me, Santi, you know what? I just need 6 months because I just talked last week with a customer in Indiana, and she told me that, look, Santi, I have a family member in Florida. I believe it was in Jacksonville. So she was planning to travel back to live with her sister. So she told me, Santi, I just need to sell the property, stop the foreclosure, and please give me 6 months. With 6 months, I can pack everything, get the moving ready, and I can move, at peace. So we get that. We were able to close on the property before the auction date. She get back like $15,000 in equity, and she has the time to pack and get everything done before moving to Jacksonville to live back with her sister. So my point is that, look, having the time, I think it's again priceless, and Sell2Rent can deliver that, so you can plan your next move.
Amazing. So we actually got a couple of questions in the chat. The first
Great.
one is, what happens if we're in the middle of a deal with an investor and the bank decides to foreclose anyway? Am I just left out in the cold?
That's a very important question. Before, look, the first thing that we do before moving forward and close the transaction is ask for time to your lender. So the first step, you come to us, you let us know what's going on. Our first step, our transaction coordinator will call your lender, your bank, whatever, and they will ask for the time frame. How much time we have to close this transaction, and if needed, because we have do this. This is very important, Caro. We can ask for an extension. So let's say, hey, Mr. Bank, look, we can close in 20 days. Please give us those extra 5 days so we can close it properly. And the bank, they will give us, and they will give us that extension, right? So that
Mhm.
way we can close in time and we can meet the deadlines the bank has for us. So it is important to understand that before proceeding, before moving to closing, the first step is getting that lender approval. So look, don't worry about that. We can get that extension and closing time. So I mean, it will never happen that we are on middle on the we are in the middle of a closing and the bank just foreclose the property. That never happened because again, before we do that, we get that extension from the lender. So that's step number one: get the extension. That's why I just told you, Carl, we are experts here and we have a full team dedicated for this type of situations. So that way we can have plenty time to close the property.
Amazing. Thank you, Santi. We have another
Absolutely.
viewer that has asked two questions. First, can you tell
Okay.
me a story of a seller in foreclosure you helped and why it is a better option than bankruptcy? And the follow up question is, what are your fees and how much do you charge?
Well, the first one, look, bankruptcy will destroy your credit score, destroy it for at least 7 to 10 years, right? I know it's a solution. I mean, sometimes, and it's there because if you're in a point of your life that you have no other option than do bankruptcy, there is, right? But it will destroy your credit score. And I think having a good credit score nowadays is essential, is key, right? So going with us is better because of that. You will protect your credit score, and you will have the opportunity to stay on the property, right? So sell to rent compared to a bankruptcy, I think that's the key benefit. You will protect your credit score. You can stay on the property, right? You can stay on the property, and you can look. Good thing is that you can rebuild it. Let's say you have a bad credit score, staying on the property, paying your rent on time will actually improve your credit score. So that way you can maybe down the road get another mortgage, get another property, and that way you can again move on, have a fresh start, and move on with life, right? And what was the second question, Kara?
What are your fees? How much do you charge?
Okay, so we only charge a 6% fee on the whole transaction, and that's it. Remember, we're gonna get you an end buyer. We're gonna negotiate in your behalf. We're gonna handle title company. We're gonna handle escrow company. We're gonna handle the closing company. We're gonna handle also the leaseback agreement, so you can, before closing, you get a leaseback in hand that protects you and that guarantee that you can stay on the property as a renter, and that's it. That's the only thing that we charge for the whole transaction, 6%, and that's a key factor as well. Because look, different from other companies, we are not the end buyers. So what we do is that we get you an end buyer. So that means that the higher we sell the property for, the better it is for you and also for us, right? Because we only charge a fee based on that final selling price. So essentially, we're on the same team. We are not like resellers or wholesalers or investors itself. What we do is that we connect with the actual end buyer. So we are on the same team. Again, we're gonna work for you. We're gonna work for you, Mr. and Mrs. Homeowner. So that way, we both win. If you win, we win. And that's it. That's the only fee that we charge on the whole transaction. And yeah, essentially, again, we're gonna have a full team working for you. Also from marketing, Cara has a marketing team. So it's not just the sales team, working for you. You have a full marketing team. You have a full tech team. So I think it's very cheap for what we offer right now. So that's the only fee that we charge for the whole transaction.
Yeah, it's very important. It's a win-win situation for everyone in the end.
Absolutely,
We we got another question. This
absolutely.
person says, I'm doing this because I can't afford my mortgage right now. If my income is tight, how do I negotiate rent that will actually fit my budget?
Look, that's an important question. There's something that we do regularly on this type of deals, and it's the prepayment of rent. Look, the good thing is that you can save the remaining equity you have in your property doing this, right? Let's say again, same example, she has 15,000 in equity on the property. What we did is that she prepaid the 6 months that she is staying on the property. So that means that from the jump, let's say we close today, you will have the 6 months already covered. So you don't have to worry about rent essentially. So you are living for free on your property. You already paid for the 6 months. So in this situation, if you don't have the income, don't worry about that. If you have the equity to prepay some months before we close, that's excellent. So we can structure something that we can help you sell your property, but you can prepay 6 months. So that way you can stay on the property for those 6 months. You don't have to pay any rent because rent is already covered. You already paid on the closing table, and you can have the time. You have the time to get everything sorted out, plan your next move. So look, this is very important, Car, as well. We don't care about income as long as you have equity to prepay some rent. Because other places, look, a regular and a typical agent, they will check your income, right? So you can afford the rent. But if you are willing to prepay some months, that's it. You are covered. I mean, we don't worry about your income. If you have equity to prepaid rent, That's it. We can structure something with the investor, get those months at the closing table, and you can sell the property. So it's simple, a simple solution for you.
Amazing. We are having a lot of questions, so I'm just going to
Love
move
it.
on to the next one. How can I be certain that I will not be affected by foreclosure if I sell?
Again, we're gonna get the approval from the lender, and it's not just a verbal approval. We will ask them to send us a document saying that they approve the sale and they give us the time to sell on the property. Remember, everything in paper is is in paper. I mean, it's not just verbal agreements, right? So
Mhm,
it's important to understand that once we get that extension, we will get that on paper as well. I mean, and also working with us. I mean, I can get you an offer. You love it, Caro. You say, Santi, I love the offer. Let's move forward. But we need to get that on paper. So that way you are protected and we are protected. So everything that we do is, in paper, in an agreement, in a contract. So you are protected as a seller. We are protected as sell to rent. And also the bank is protected because they know that they're going to
mhm.
get, their mortgage back, right? So everything will be legally and on paper at the end of the day.
Yes, transparency is very big in sell to rent. So everything that you
Absolutely.
will do with the team will be signed and in a very legal way to protect everyone involved.
Absolutely, Kyle.
So the following question is, who actually becomes my landlord? Do I get a say in choosing the investor, or am I stuck with whoever bids on my house?
No, that's an amazing question. So on average, we get around 7 to 9 offers per deal. That means that on average, we get 9 potential buyers for your property. Okay, you as a homeowner, you will get the chance to know all of them, right? Some of them, look, they are institutional buyers. Some of them mom and pops. Some of them local buyers. Some of them buyers outside from the state. So the good thing is that we will help you understand what type of buyers do you have lined up for your property, and together we're going to decide who is the best one. We had it was very funny because we have I think it was last week, we have a
Mhm.
property. We have a good, 2 offers for that property. One was a cash buyer, and the other one, I think, is they need financing. But the cash buyer, he was a local investor, and actually he was offering a little more than the asking price. And the homeowner
Okay.
told us, Santi, look, I prefer to go with this one because he's a local investor, and he's cash, so he can close quickly. So at the end of the day, to answer the question, Caro, this is a team effort, a team collaboration here. So you will get the chance to know who is buying the property. Actually, all of the investors that are really interested, and that, because we bet also the investors. It's not like anyone can buy your property. As a sell to rent, we also protect you as a homeowner, and we only work with vetted buyers. So you will get the chance to know them before we close, because a lot of buyers, they like to do walkthroughs, they like to do, an intake call with the homeowner. So yeah, to answer the question, you will get the chance to know the buyer before we close, and if we have multiple options on the table, together we're going to decide which one is the best for you.
Yeah, and
Regardless,
another cool thing is that privacy matters a lot in this situation. So, with
100%.
in during the whole process, it will be completely private. There will be no, on sale signs anywhere. Nobody will know you are selling your home.
I told my homeowners, no balloons outside of your door, no signs saying, "Hey, welcome, open house available now," because we don't run open houses. That's good to know as well. We completely do it privately. This is an off-market transaction, different from the MLS. So no public signs, no balloons, no open houses, just quick walkthroughs with interested buyers. Okay, we will let you know in advance. Hey, Caro, we have a buyer ready for your property. He wants to do a quick walkthrough, 15 minutes. Are you available tomorrow, 7 p.m.? Yes, no, and we coordinate that with the end buyer. So what you mentioned, Cara, I think it's very important. We respect privacy, and it's out of market. No one will know that you are selling your property. No one, your neighbors, your family, not at all. No one will know.
Yeah, and honestly, it's great that we do that. We've got another question that if I
Mhm.
only want to stay 3 months until I sell everything, can I do that?
Absolutely, absolutely. Our leasebacks go anywhere from a month. up to forever. Now, but anywhere from a month up to 3, 5 years with the option of renewal. So that's a good thing. So if you want to stay just 3 months, that's completely doable. And we can also include a clause on the contract saying that if you want to stay for a couple of months, let's say you need some buffer time, you are able to renew your agreement and stay a little longer. So yeah, I mean, we have no minimum here. You want to stay 30 days, that's perfect. If you want to stay 12 months, that's perfect. The leaseback part here, Caro, is very tailored to the seller needs. So at the end of the day, if you told me, Santi, I just need 3 months, I will get you an offer where you can stay just 3 months on the property.
Okay, we've got another homeowner that is asking, my house needs a lot of repairs that haven't been able to afford. Will an investor reject my home because it's not in perfect condition or force me to fix it before buying?
That's an amazing question. Look, the traditional market MLS, they will request you to do all those repairments, to do painting, to do a lot of things on the property before you jump into the market. I mean, you don't have nothing secure and they ask you to do that, right? With Sell2Rent, you sell the property as is. You don't have to take a broom. You don't have to take a broom. I mean, as your property sits right now, it's how you are selling your property. So don't worry about that. Look, all of those things will be factoring on the end price because the investors at the end of the day, they're going to take care of that. Let's say you need a new roof, right? Investors are willing to take care of the roof, but that has to be accounted on the end price. At the end of the day, they are buying the property as is and they are willing to invest money in the property as well. So I tell my homeowners that the good thing working with sell to rent is that you are getting a partner in your property because you are staying on the property for let's say a year, right? And the new landlord, they are willing to do improvements to the property because they are buying an asset, so they want to have an asset in good shape. So at the end of the day, you don't have to do any repairment, right? You don't have to do anything to your property. The investor is going to handle that, but take into consideration that those type of things has to be accounted on the price, right? Because the buyer
Mhm.
is buying the property as is, but you don't have to invest any money, before moving. That's different from the MLS that you have to do all of those repairments. I mean, get your property uh, in perfect condition, and you don't have the certainty that if you are going to sell the property or not, because that's does just the first requirement they ask. With Sell2Rent, you don't have to do that, so you will save some money.
Yeah, and that's amazing. We've got one last question, and is at what stage can a homeowner still avoid foreclosure?
Look, again, we need at least 20 to 30 days. Okay. A lot of times happen. I mentioned this on the beginning of the call, but I just want to reiterate this. People come to us with no time. Santi, my sale date is tomorrow. We cannot do nothing. I mean, we need at least those 20 days in order to contact your lender, get an extension if needed, and start working on the property. So please, again, if you get that notice of sale, if you get that letter from your lender, call us immediately. Don't wait another day. Don't start uh, asking your realtor friend. No, no, no. Call Sell to Rent. We are the experts in the foreclosure situation. So please, once you get that, call us immediately. We have a solution for you.
Thank you so much, Santi. Everyone, I think they all had a great takeaway of the situation. Don't wait until it's too late. You're not
Yeah,
alone. There are tens of thousands of people going through the same situation of pre foreclosure or foreclosure. Don't wait until it's too late. We can help you. You can call Santi, our 800 number that's on the screen, or visit our website, sell2rent.com. Thank you so much,
absolutely.
everyone, for your time. And let us know if you have any other questions that you would like us to answer in the future. Bye.
Absolutely. Carol, thank you for the time. Bye bye.
Thank you, Santi.